In this video, I'm going to go deep into how the FBI arrested a top cybersecurity crime ringleader in Ghana, Kwadwo Boateng, aka Dada Joe Remix. He posed as a millionaire, flaunted luxury cars, and claimed to be a real estate mogul. But behind the glamour was a decade-long scam that stole millions from the elderly using fake love, fake gold, and fake promises. Now, the FBI has him, and the truth is finally coming out. It's your boy, Nana Kwesi, and you are welcome back to book number 7. Now, if this is your first time here, we say welcome, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so now. And remember to also let your friends get to know about this channel and tell them to subscribe as well. Now to the story. Dada Joe Remix appeared to be living a dream life. On social media, he was often seen dressed in designer clothes, posing in front of luxury vehicles, and hanging out with well-known internet personalities. He claimed to be a successful real estate developer and a businessman with ties to the oil and gas industry. In 2022, he was even reported to have bought a Shell fuel station in Ghana for a whopping $1.2 million. His followers saw him as a wealthy and generous man. Some believed that he was a self-made millionaire. Others also saw him as a flashy celebrity who had risen from nothing. But behind the flash and the fame, investigators say that there was a darker truth. Now, according to official documents, Boateng was part of an international network that ran an online fraud operation from 2013 to 2023. He and his partners in crime targeted elderly people, especially those in the United States. The group allegedly used fake names, fake profiles, and carefully written stories to win the hearts of their victims. These were not quick scams. They often took time. You're looking at weeks or even months of messaging and calling to build trust. Now, once they gained the victim's confidence, they'll introduce the real plan. They'll tell the victims that they had inherited some large sums of money, or they were involved in a gold or jewel kind of business. And then comes the hook. In order to claim these riches, the victims would need to send money to cover taxes or legal fees. The fraudsters would go on ahead to create that fake documents, fake tax notices, and even send photos of the gold bars or treasure chests to make the lies seem real. And the money kept flowing. Money just kept flowing. Some victims sent thousands. Others also sent hundreds of thousands of dollars. And by the time they realized the truth, these scammers were gone and the money disappeared. Investigators say that several $1 million were stolen using this method. Some victims, as a result, lost all of their life savings because the fraud was carefully planned and with every detail that was designed to avoid any form of suspicion. Now, many of the victims did not even know that they had been tricked until it was too late. The charges against Boateng were very serious. A federal grand jury in Arizona indicted him in May 2023 for conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Each of these crimes carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison under the US law. It was not just about him sending a few fake emails. The charges show that the fraud was complex, deliberate, and it was meant to cause deep financial harm. But arresting someone who was involved in such a global operation wasn't simple. Boateng was in Ghana and was far away from the courts of Arizona. And so to bring him to justice, American authorities had to work closely with their Ghanaian counterparts. And so on May 27, 2025, Ghanaian police arrested Boateng in a response to an official request from the United States. The arrest was part of a carefully planned operation, and this is said to have been carried out quietly and swiftly. Eyewitnesses also described the arrest as sudden and precise, which almost gave it the look of it coming out of a movie. Boateng was reportedly picked up without warning, taken straight to the Economic and Organized Crime Office in Accra, or per their acronym, EOCO, and detained while arrangements were being made for his extradition. Now, for many Ghanaians who had been following his social media lifestyle, keeping up with the social media lifestyle, the news came to them very shocking. The man who was now or known to have been flaunting his wealth and giving the impression of him being untouchable, all of a sudden was seen in police custody. His extradition moved very quickly, and with support from several agencies, including the FBI, the US Department of Justice, Ghana's Office of the Attorney General, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, and Interpol. Boateng was handed over to US officials, and on June 26, 2025, he was officially extradited to the United States to face trial. The operation also involved the US Diplomatic Security Service, that's the DSS, whose special agents at the US Embassy in Accra helped ensure everything followed legal procedures. And shortly after arriving in the US, Boateng appeared before a court in the District of Arizona. It was at that moment that he realized he was no longer the online celebrity that he once appeared to be. Now, he was seen as a suspect in a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme, facing the full weight of the American justice system. The charges that were made against him were clear. He had allegedly tricked elderly people to send in large amounts of money through so many fake promises of love and inheritance. And now he and his group then reportedly laundered the money through different channels to hide its origin. And we find from authorities that they have emphasized that all of these are still allegations, and Boateng is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But the evidence presented in the indictment suggests that the fraud scheme was well organized, and this was something that continued for over a period of 10 years. Investigators say that the group used fake passports and false identities and fake business licenses to hide their real names. They registered shell companies and used third-party bank accounts to be moving the money across borders. And even in some cases, they used people known as money mules to receive and forward funds, which will make it harder for the law enforcement to trace their ongoing transactions. Now, this kind of financial trickery allowed them to move millions of dollars without setting off alarms in the banking system. The case against Joseph Boateng is part of a wider effort by the US authorities to tackle global fraud networks. And you find that over the past several years, government agencies have been increasing their focus on protecting their elderly, that's the older Americans, from these kind of scams. You are talking about the romance fraud, fake inheritances, and lottery scams, and also online investment traps. Many of these scams, they originate outside of the United States, and you find them often coming from places where enforcement is more difficult. But with growing cooperation between countries, arrests like Boateng's are becoming more common. Now, to note this, what is making it alarming is, or even more alarming, is how the scammers are using emotional pressure. Victims often are people who are lonely, retired, or just looking for, some companionship. Scammers use kind words, long conversations, and even romantic messages to try to win over their trust. And then once the emotional bond is strong, the financial manipulation begins. Some victims feel close to the scammers that they go ahead to send them monies without any hesitation, and truly believing that they are helping someone that they love. But you go and find out that it's a cruel tactic which is preying on people's need for connection, and it has left many families in pain. In some cases, victims have been too embarrassed to even go and report the crime. Others have also blamed themselves for not seeing the signs from the beginning. But experts agree that these scams are designed to fool even, the smartest people, because fraudsters, what they do is to study their victims, and they go on ahead to speak kindly, and they know exactly what to say. And so as Joseph Boateng's case moves forward, many are watching to see how the justice system is going to be handling this case. His arrest has also raised some new questions in Ghana about the source of sudden wealth among some young influencers and also young entrepreneurs. While some people are doing their best to make their money through hard work and innovation, there are others who are also hiding behind certain businesses that may not be as legitimate as they appear to be. In the case of Dada Joe remix, his lifestyle had drawn attention for years. He posed next to fancy cars, showed off expensive jewelry, and presented himself as a successful businessman. Some people admired him, and while others were also quietly wondering, how did he become so rich so quickly? And it was quite the tussle among people, balancing admiration and balancing the questions that were coming about his sudden wealth. And his arrest has now provided part of the answer. As the US Attorney General has emphasized, the fight against online fraud is far from over. Authorities across the world are working together more than ever to find and stop those who use the internet to steal from the vulnerable. These crimes may be committed behind screens, but their impact is one that is very real, and it is destroying so many lives, is breaking trust, and it is causing so many long-term financial damage in the lives and families of others, or the victims for that matter. As more details continue to unfold in court, people will learn about how the scheme was operated and who else may have been involved. Now let's get deeper into the world of cybercrime. Cybercrimes often begin with a simple email, a text message, or a friendly voice on the phone. Someone promises something valuable, say gold bars, family inheritance, rare jewels, or money stuck in customs. The only thing needed, they say, is to pay a small tax, or what they call a release fee. But what most people don't realize is that behind these polite messages is an actual global scam network. These fraudsters are targeting people, especially the older individuals, with lies designed to steal their life savings. One of the most heartbreaking scams today is how criminals trick seniors into believing that they are about to receive millions of dollars in gold or other riches. They say the only delay is a fake tax or customs fee. These criminals are smart, organized, and they use the internet to hide. They don't need thousands of victims. Sometimes they only focus on one person and take everything. These scammers begin by looking for information. They search the internet and social media for older people who they think would be or look like they are lonely, retired, or even recently widowed. Then they proceed to send them friendly messages. That they do through email, social media, or even phone calls. They will go ahead to introduce themselves as government officials, sometimes lawyers, or even custom agents. They claim that the victim is a beneficiary of a gold shipment, or some hidden jewels, or a large inheritance. The story is always the same. The gold or money is stuck in another country somewhere, and it needs to be cleared from customs, or it has to be approved by a bank, or it has been protected with insurance. But before they release it to you, the victim must pay some money. They will tell you that, oh, the money is for taxes or paperwork or anti-money laundering clearance. And so, all to convince the victim, you find the scammers sending in these fake documents. And in these documents, they may include photos of the gold bars or the jewels or diamonds, custom forms with official looking stamps, letters from fake banks or government offices, fake IDs, fake passports, fake business licenses. These documents often look real, and they will do well to include the official logos, the seals, and the professional language. And all of this, the main goal is to make the victim believe that everything that they are receiving is legitimate. And so once the victim starts to trust the scammer, they are more likely to send money and more money. The first request might be small, just a few $100s for a processing fee. But once they realize that the victim pays, you find that the requests seem to double up, and then they keep on coming. And each time, the scammers claim that the payment is necessary to complete the process. Victims are told that, you are just a step away from receiving your millions, just one step away, just one step more. But you find that the money is never coming in, or it's never coming, or it never comes. And the scammers continue to ask for more until the victim runs out of money or realizes that it was all a lie. And this is only one kind of scam. Many other types of online fraud also target seniors. Here are some of the most common. Number one is romance scams. Now, in romance scams, the scammer pretends to fall in love with the victim. So they will build a relationship online that will take often over weeks or months. They will be sending them sweet messages, love poems, and even fake pictures. And then once the trust is built, they will ask for money, often to help with the family emergency, medical bills, or to travel to meet the victim. Sometimes they even claim that, they have gold or valuables locked in customs and they need some help to go and then pay the fee. 2 is tech support scams. Now, with this scam, the victim receives a call or a message from someone who claims that they are a computer technician from Microsoft or Apple or any other tech company. The caller will tell you that there is a problem with you, the victim's computer, such as, say, a virus or some security threat. So they'll offer to fix it remotely. Now, once the scammer gets access, what they do is they steal passwords, bank details, and then may demand payment for certain fake repairs. 3 is lottery or prize scams. Now, for this scam, victims receive a message saying that they have won a prize, such as a car or cash or a house. But before they can collect the prize, they must pay a claim fee or government tax. The prize never exists, and once the payment is also made, the scammers disappear. 4, fake investment schemes. Fake investment schemes. Now, for this one, the scammers offer investment opportunities in gold, in real estate, in oil, or even in cryptocurrency. They show fake returns and testimonials. Victims are promised big profits so that they will make investments, and then later they will discover that it was all fake. The scammers will then vanish with all of their money. 5 is business email scams. Now, for this scam, they target people who run small businesses or manage large accounts. The scammer hacks into an email account and sends fake invoices or payment instructions. So the victims who see this are tricked into transferring large sums into the wrong account. The people behind these scams are often part of organized crime networks. They use advanced methods to stay hidden, which include fake identities, fake identities, and what have you, and all these other accompanying methods to which they want to just extract money from you. Now, scammers rarely use their real names. They'll use fake names, create fake names, or even steal identities of others. They may use photos of real people to go ahead and create these fake profiles. VPNs and fake IP addresses they also use as part of there are ways to hide their location. That's the virtual private network. And even if they are in one country, their internet address may look like it's from another. Fake phone numbers. Scammers use apps to create phone numbers from any country. You can change numbers easily, and it makes it hard for you to track them. Disposable emails. They use free email accounts that can be deleted at any time. These accounts, they are often used just for one scam and then it's thrown away. Fake websites and documents. Many scammers create fake websites that look like real banks, shipping companies, or even government offices. There they'll design official looking documents with seals and logos and some professional formatting. Some will even copy real documents and then just change the names on there and the dates as well. One of the biggest challenges is the way scammers move money without being caught. They transfer very huge amounts across countries and banks using tricks to make the transfers look like they are normal. And this is the way they do it. Money mules. Yes, money mules. Mules spelled M-U-L-E-S, right? Money mules. Scammers often use people called money mules. Now, these are people, sometimes innocent, who receive stolen money into their bank accounts and then send it to the next person. The mule might be promised a small commission or be told, oh, you are going to use it to help a business deal. Fake companies are also a part of the things that scammers do. Criminals register fake businesses and open accounts in the company's name. They use fake invoices and then documents to also make large bank transfers to look like real business payments. There's also the aspect of digital wallets and cryptocurrency. Scammers often like to ask for money to be sent to digital wallets like PayPal or in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. These systems, they move money quickly and anonymously. And you find that once the money enters these platforms, it's very, very hard to trace. There's also wire transfers and cash pickups. Sometimes victims are told to use services like the Western Unions or the MoneyGrams, and with this, it allows people to send money that can be picked up in cash from any other country. And once the cash is collected, you don't have a way to get your cash back. Despite the efforts made by banks and governments to stop these crimes, you find that it's still very difficult to catch the scammers or the perpetrators, right? They use layers of fake names, accounts, and documents. They also move very quickly, and their operations are the kind that's often spread across a lot of countries. There are several countries. There are also warning signs that people can watch out for. Now, these are some of them. Someone promises a large amount of money or gold but asks for payment first. You are asked to pay a fee to claim your prize. That's a claiming fee or some kind of fee or sort for your prize, inheritance, or a gift. You are told to keep the deal secret or not tell family or friends. You feel pressure to act quickly, and you are asked to send money using unusual methods like gift cards, crypto, or wiring to different accounts. Now, if you see any of these signs, please stop immediately. Never send money to anyone you do not know personally. Always try to talk to someone you trust first, and then you report the incident to your local police or a fraud agency. Seniors are often targeted because they are the ones who would have savings, and they may be lonely and sometimes less familiar with internet scams. Families and caregivers should always try to stay involved. Try and check in often and then help explain the risks. Scammers use emotion to control their victims. They create stories that make people feel hope or love or fear or even greed. They make their targets believe that something big is just around the corner, but it is never the case. Behind every scam is a criminal that is just trying to take advantage of someone else's trust. And behind every victim is a lifetime of hard work. Awareness and education are the strongest weapons that we have. By learning how these scams work, sharing information and staying alert, we can, do our best to protect ourselves and our loved ones as well. Never forget, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And we need to continue to ensure that we keep our eyes open. Being alert is crucial, just as much as we need to inform ourselves and find new information on all these new methods that they've been trying out. Because as much as we are trying to curb the situation, they are always going to try to find loopholes to beat the system and still carry on these illegitimate moves. We hope to see that these crime rings are brought down totally and for good, so that we can all have peace of mind, be able to do our transactions safely, with no hesitation, with no pressures, with no emotions being toyed with, and hopefully be in a world where we'll have less of these stories coming up. Thank you very much for staying with us all the way up to this point. My name has been Nana Kwesi, and this has been book number 7. If you did follow us all the way up to this story, we say thank you. Now we need for you to do a few things. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all notifications, like the video, drop a comment in the comment section, let us know what you think, if you've heard about the story, if you've not heard it before, and share it with a friend or family. Till the next video, see you.